Yo, hold up, where'd my chapstick go? Hey guys, this is Caustra here, and today I want to talk about the big thing in the Geometry Dash community. What I'm talking about is the Geometry Dash 1.9 private server. You've probably heard of this private server by now, because a lot of people are milking it on YouTube, or at the very least advertising it. I enjoyed 1.9 quite a bit, so I decided to give it a try, and I wanted to talk about my experiences with it. Before we begin, I just wanted to say that I was actually on a Geometry Dash podcast discussing this topic not too long ago, so if you guys want to see more about how I feel about it, check it out in the description. Since no one has really talked about this that much, I thought I'd delve into it a little. I see myself as a fairly qualified person to talk about it. As of now, I'm in the top 50 on the leaderboard, and I've made a few levels, but I haven't really finished anything yet. So anyways, let's get into things. The first thing I want to talk about is actually the theoretical installation process for this server. I'll explain why I called it theoretical later. I must admit, it's really well done. Normally, for a private server, you have to replace some files in your copy of Geometry Dash to play on it, which means you have to switch them back to play on RobTop's servers, but with this, it's all in a separate game with a launcher. What this does is makes it so that you can have both regular Geometry Dash and the 1.9 private server as two separate things, which means no annoying file switching to play between the two. I really like this feature, as the old method was really inconvenient. Next up is the actual levels. When the server was made, they took some famous 1.9 levels and put them on the server, such as Decode, 9 Circles, etc. I really like this as well, as it gives us a couple levels we recognize from 1.9 versus all of the levels being new. There aren't that many famous levels there, however, and obviously every update only has a handful of famous levels, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt to add a few more. Guys, if you see this, please add Windy Landscape. I really want you to add Windy Landscape. It's honestly a good level, and I really want to rebeat it on the server. Also, it has high graphics instead of the medium that we're used to on 2.1. I missed high graphics so much. It's one of those things that you don't realize how much you miss it until you get it again. It's just so crisp, and it looks ethereal. Regardless, I'm really glad that the next update for Geometry Dash will bring back those sweet, crisp high graphics, because let's be real, this game looks like a literal potato on anything lower than it. On the subject of textures, another thing to note is that 1.9 honestly had some of the best texture packs I've ever seen. The only texture pack from later updates that I liked was Railgunner's texture pack called Just Another Life. But with 1.9, it had texture packs like Ember, Purpura, Endless, Material, and one of my favorites, the Super Mario texture pack. Rest in peace, Super Mario texture pack, because Nintendo copyright claimed it and now it's gone, and now I'm sad because I was going to use that on the private server. Why? Nintendo, why? However, there are a few things I don't like about the server. First of all, it's offline a lot, but I'll let this one slide because it's still under active development. The other thing I'm not too happy about isn't necessarily an issue with the server, but more the community and its reaction to the server. So far, the community has taken it really well, and I'm really proud of you guys for that. I was not expecting that. My problem with it is that people are setting really high expectations for the server, and there's just simply no way it can reach these expectations. People think that by playing the server, it'll be identical to what the community was back in 1.9, but that's not true at all. I'll use an example to explain my point a little bit. Let's say we took 200 random citizens of assorted ages and ethnicities from all over the world and put them in a recreation of a settlement from something like the 1600s. They'd never be able to fully fit in, because they would still have knowledge of what their past life, or the modern era we live in now, was like. This is the exact problem with the community right now. By going back to 1.9, we're not eliminating the cancer in the community, and the community isn't magically going to change to be exactly what it was like before. This version of 1.9 will be more cancerous due to the exponentially worse status the community is in right now. Also, a lot of famous 1.9 players and creators like Zobros and WreckEdge have quit, and they aren't coming back. It really does seem like people on the server are forcing that regime of what they envision 1.9 was truly like back then, but the thing is, you can't force this. It either comes naturally, or it doesn't come at all. One other thing to mention is the technical issues. This is a bit of a last-minute addition, but this needs to be said. The reason I said theoretical earlier is because the program has a really bad tendency to work fine, and then when you open it again, it doesn't work because files are missing, and then the launcher freezes and crashes. In the first 2 days of me using it, I've had to reinstall the private server around 5 times. Also, it's a real pain to actually get the whole thing working, as from the reports I've seen from other people trying to get it to run, there are so many potential errors and bugs. If you try launching the game with antivirus on, it deletes this one file called steamapi.dll, and it won't open. On top of that, it doesn't even work for most people, as you need certain core DLL files in your system to run it as well. And to make matters worse, people get almost no support whatsoever on the official Discord. I've seen so many questions from people who can't get it working, and maybe only like 15% of them actually get it fixed. Overall, it's a really painful process to get it all working. Point is, 1.9 was good for Geometry Dash from a community standpoint. The community back then was really good, and nothing like it is now. However, as fun as the server is, it's not really accomplishing much since it can't fix the community. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the server, quite the contrary actually. I really enjoy this custom server, because although 1.9 wasn't amazing like everyone thought, at least the gameplay for every level isn't cancerous like in 2.1. Like really, RobTop, you have the worst taste in daily levels I've ever seen. I play only like 5% of them because the other 95% are awful and make me want to eat myself with a Walmart brand plastic spoon. Step up your game already. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on the subject. Overall, I think the 1.9 private server is a good idea, and I do enjoy playing on it. I just don't think that it'll live up to the standards people are setting for it. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you want more content like this, please let me know. I love trying new things for you guys, and if you ever decide that you like something new I've done, feel free to leave a comment or reach out to me over Discord. Also, before I go, I want to quickly mention the podcast thing I brought up over the video. Basically, myself and some other Geometry Dash YouTubers are going to start doing podcasts every 2 weeks on some subjects we'd like to shine a light on, and do expect me on those podcasts fairly frequently. If you want to see more of those, please go subscribe to the channel in the description, which is where they are held.